Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will start with chapter 16. Chapter 16 related to cost allocation, joint products, and byproducts. Okay, we finished in the previous videos joint allocation for another type of cost, which we call it service department cost allocated to production department cost. Here we have another cost allocation problem. Cost allocation here is for what we call it joint product and byproduct. Okay, here what we mean by joint product and byproduct. Here we will start with an example, a famous example. Here we have oil refinement. Oil refinement, when we extract oil from the land, the crude oil here, when we do a refinement for this crude oil, okay, when we extract the crude oil from the land, we will go to refine this crude oil refinement, crude oil refinement, to extract what we call it here the components of the crude oil, like gas, for example, like petroleum, etc. Here we have one material, raw material here, we call it crude oil here. Okay, crude oil material, and we extract from crude oil to the refinement process. We will extract the components of or the ingredients of this crude oil, which includes, for example, gas, for example, petroleum, etc., kerosene, gasoline, etc. There is many products we can extract from this process. Okay, this process or refinement will be used to extract the products. Here, the difference between this process and the previous process in the previous videos, that in the previous videos we have raw materials which is separate, and we assemble these raw materials to produce one product, like tables, for example, furniture manufacturing company assemble tables by using wood, for example, paint, for example. They assemble these raw materials, wood and paint, to produce its finished product, which is here the table. In contrast to crude oil refinement, here the oil company extract the crude oil and refine this crude oil. Here we have one raw material here, crude oil, and we will extract the components of crude oil through the process which is called oil refining. Okay, here we have many types of output from this process. We have here joint product, we call it joint product 1, joint product 2, here byproduct, and we have here an output with 0 sales value, which is T. What is the definition of these terminology? Okay, we will start here with some terminologies. Here we have joint cost. Joint cost here, we mean by joint cost of a single production process that yields multiple products simultaneously. Okay. Here, if we go back to our example, here we have single process, this or refinement that produces each multiple outputs here from single process. Then the cost here, if we have here for example, $1 million, the cost of refinement. Here, the cost of refinement, $1 million to produce the separate components of the oil, of the crude oil. The cost here, $1 million, we will call it joint cost, because the products here join the cost of the oil refinement. Okay, here we have, go forward in joint product, joint cost of a single production like oil refinement process that yields multiple products. Oil refinement yields multiple products like what? Like petroleum, like uh, gas, like kerosene, like gasoline, etc. Simultaneously, at the same time, these products are produced at the same time because here we said that it is simultaneously. in Arabic we mean في نفس الوقت. Okay. Then joint cost in Arabic we mean التكاليف المشتركة. cost تكاليف of a single production عملية إنتاج واحدة process that is التي ينتج عنها multiple products منتجات مشتركة مختلفة. Okay, we have here the other definition or the other terminology that will be defined split of point. Split of point, the place in the joint production process where two or more products become separately identifiable. Here, if we go back to our example, okay, if we go back to our example, here we have this point, will be called split of point. Split of point because before this point, we can't distinguish between the components or the ingredients of the crude oil. After this point, we can distinguish between the components of the crude oil. Then the split of point. Before this point, we can't distinguish لا نستطيع أن نفرق بين مكونات النفط هنا على سبيل المثال. We can't distinguish between the components of the crude oil. After this point, we can distinguish يمكننا أن نميز المنتجات عن بعضها البعض. يمكننا أن نميز المنتجات عن بعضها البعض. We can distinguish the components of the crude oil here. Then after this point, we can distinguish between the components of the crude oil. Before this point, we can distinguish between the component of the crude oil. Then the cost before split of point, we will call it joint cost. And the cost after this point, we'll call it separate cost or separable cost. Then the cost after separable cost, the cost before, we call it joint cost. Cost before, we call it joint cost, تكاليف مشتركة. And the cost after, we call it separate cost, which is تكاليف خاصة in Arabic. Okay. Okay. Separable cost, all costs incurred beyond the split of point. As we said, all costs incurred after or beyond the split of point that are assignable to each of the now identifiable specific products. Here, if we go back to our example, here, any costs that incurred after this point are simply identifiable. We can identify that the cost here for joint product number one, we, for example, we incurred $1 million here before this point, which is here joint cost that related to all products that are produced or joint products that are produced. And if we spend another cost on joint product number one by itself and on joint product number two by itself, if we spend here, for example, another $100,000 on joint product number one and $200,000 on joint product number two, then 100,000, 200,000, we'll call it separable cost. Separable cost here is the cost incurred after or beyond the split of point and related to a specific product. Okay, here we have separable cost, all costs incurred beyond the specific point that are assignable to a new identifiable specific products. Okay, the cost before split of point are called joint cost. The cost after here before, okay, before what for here split of point. Here we have beyond or after. After. Okay, after. Okay, here we have another terminologies. Categories of joint process outputs. Here we have many outputs are related to joint process. Joint process will produce many outputs. Outputs with a positive sales value and outputs with zero sales value. Here we have some outputs that have positive sales value despite its high or low. The important thing is output with a positive sales value must have a positive sales value and output with a zero sales value. Sometimes we have output with a zero sales value like steam here. For example, if we go back here, we have steam here. Okay, zero sales value, this output. And we have outputs here with a positive sales value by product and joint products. Okay. Product, we call the output product any output with positive sales value. Any output with positive sales value, we'll call it product. Or an output that enables a firm to avoid incurring cost. Okay, mainly any product with a positive sales value, we'll call it product. And any output with a positive sales value, we'll call it product. And if the cost don't have positive sales value, but the output enable the firm to avoid cost. avoid cost يعني نوفر تكاليف in Arabic. Enable the firm to avoid cost إن نقدر نوفر التكاليف. Okay, then we will consider it as a product. Because when we avoid incurring cost, we can think about avoid incurring cost like revenue generating process, because revenue generating will increasing profit and avoiding costs will increase in profit. Okay, value can be high or low. Okay, doesn't matter if the value are high or low. The important thing is it has positive sales value. Then the value high or the value low does not matter here. The important thing here is the output have positive sales value. يعني احنا عندنا انه يكون المخرجات عندنا لها قيمه بيعيه موجبه بغض النظر كانت القيمه البيعيه الموجبه هاي عاليه او كبيره او منخفضه. Okay, here we have main product and joint product and byproduct فيما بعد byproduct. Okay, main product output of joint production process that yields only one product with high sales value. Okay, if we have a production process that yields one product with high sales value and other products we have, for example, if we have a production process that yields one product with high sales value and other products with low sales value, then this product called main product. نسميه هنا المنتج الرئيسي. Okay, high value, high sales value here قيمة بيعية موجبة compared with the sales value of other products or other outputs. We compare the output of product number 1, for example, to product number 2, 3, 4, 5, and we see that product number 1 sales value is 1 million, for example, and the product 2 sales value is 1,000, and sales value of the product number 3 2,000, for product number 4, 10,000, then 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 sales value compared to the 1 million sales value is low, and the 1 million sales value is high. Then this product, we will call it, this one product, we will call it main product. If we have here outputs of joint production process that yields two or more products with high sales value compared to the sales value at any other outputs, then we call these products as joint products. For example, if we produce in joint production 2 products or 3 products or 4 products or any product that have high sales value, like product number 1 have sales value of 1 million, product number 2 have sales value of 900,000, product number 3 have sales value of 500,000, for example. These 3 products can we call it joint product if the other products in this process sales value are low, like 1,000, 2,000, like 500, for example, for product 4, 5, 6 إلى آخره, etc. And by product, we have to imagine by product, outputs of a joint production, it's the output of the joint production, it's an output with sales value, positive sales value, that have low sales value compared to sales value of another outputs. Then, if we have an output with a sales value that have low sales value compared to other sales value, like the products in the previous example, like product number 4, 5, 6. Here we have product, for example, number 4, have sales value 1,000. Product number 5 have sales value 2,000, etc. Compared to products that have sales value of 1 million, 2 million, then the products with low sales value will have, we'll call it by products in Arabic, منتجات جانبية. Okay, these definitions are very important for our coming example here. Reasons for allocating joint cost. Why we bother with allocating joint cost? Why we need to allocate joint cost? لماذا نحتاج أن نوزع التكاليف المشتركة على المنتجات المشتركة بالعربي طبعا. وبالتالي we have here the instance required for GAAP and taxation purposes. Required for you as GAAP IFRS to allocate these costs, joint costs, and joint products for preparation of financial statements according to US GAAP and IFRS, and for taxation purposes when you want to file for tax, you need to allocate these costs to products. Cost values may be used for evaluation purposes. Okay, we need it for evaluation purposes. تقييم الأداء may be used for this purpose. Cost-based contracting. Some contracts with government are based on the cost plus. Then the government needs to know, and company needs to know the cost to put a markup like 10%, 2%, 20%, 30%, etc. on cost to determine the price of the contract. يعني نحط الآن إن يكون في عنا نحدد قديش تكلفة المنتج ونضع عليه إيش اللي هو هامش ربح، بس نقدر إنه نحدد السعر هذا إنه عربي طبعا باللغة العربية. For insurance settlements, for insurance companies to if the product damaged or stolen, if the products are damaged or stolen, then the insurance company will reimburse us with the amount which is the cost of the product. Then we need to allocate the joint cost to every product to know the cost of the product that is damaged to reimburse the amount from insurance company, required by regulators, sometimes required by some regulators agencies, and for litigations, أعراض القضايا والأعراض طبعا القانونية. Okay. What Here we have the methods of allocating joint costs to products. Here we have two groups of methods: physical measures and market-based measures. Physical measures and market-based allocating method. Here we have two categories. Market-based are divided to sales value at split point method, net realizable value method, and constant gross margin percentage net realizable value. Then we have three methods related to market-based category, and the other category, physical measures. Physical measures allocate joint costs using tangible attributes of the product such as pounds, gallons, barrels, etc. Then we don't use here the piece of allocation. We don't use the dollar amount. Okay, we use physical measures, physical amounts, such as pounds, such as kilometer, kilogram, gallons, barrels, etc. We don't use for allocation purpose. We don't use these here in the first category. Don't use dollar value piece for allocating. Use physical measure piece for allocating. Here in the market piece, we use the dollar piece using market derived data, the dollar, sorry. Then the allocation piece has the dollar value. Here we have sales value at a critical point, the first method, A, which will be use the dollar value, and second method will use the dollar value, net realizable value, and the third method will use the dollar value, constant gross margin percentage net realizable value. These four methods, physical measure and sales value at the point, net realizable value, and constant gross margin, we will illustrate it in the following example here. We have an example here. We will illustrate the four methods using this example, and we will compare the results and when we can use every method of these four methods. In the coming videos, inshallah, we'll continue with our example and with chapter 6.